you're old, then welcome back. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience going to a Trippie Redd concert. Now, this happened months ago. The concert was on March 7th, I believe. It was a Saturday. So yeah, this happened like, 2 months ago? And I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I have like 11 or 12 minutes of concert footage that I'm gonna show y'all. So y'all will see part of the actual performance. So stay tuned for that. But I'm gonna quickly give y'all a rundown of how the day went. So I woke up early in the morning. I was so sick, and this was before this quarantine and corona thing got really serious and we were put on lockdown. So yeah, I was really sick that morning. Like, I could barely move. Finally, I threw up, and after I threw up, I felt so much better. But just keep that in mind. So I was picking up a friend because this is the first concert that I actually went to with another person. So I had to pick up my friend from downtown Houston, and he was getting in around noon, but the concert didn't start until like 7? So yeah, I went to downtown Houston, picked him up. We hung around downtown Houston until almost time for the concert. We got there at like between 6 and 6:30. The concert started at 7. Keep that in mind. And we parked like half a mile away. I still got my receipt from where we parked. So we parked like half a mile away, and parking was only $5 in the parking lot that we parked in. And we had to walk. Once we got there, we just saw a long line. We didn't even see the Music Revention Center. That's where the concert was here in Houston. We didn't even see that building. We just saw a long line. We walked like 2, 3, 4 blocks before we found the end of the line. 30 minutes passed, the line gets even bigger. Finally, they let us in, and they let us in on time, which I really like. And luckily, because I bought meet and greet tickets also in BTW, I bought 2 tickets for me and my friend. That was $250. Then I bought 2 meet and greet tickets, and that was like $360. So I spent like $600 on these Trippie Redd tickets. So the meet and greet was supposed to be before the show. We couldn't find anybody to tell us like, yo, where are we supposed to go? So they end up having the meet and greet after. So I'll get to that later. But yeah, finally the line starts moving, and the line moved pretty quickly. The line was wrapped around the block like 10 times. I'm not even kidding. This was the longest line I ever stood in when it comes to a concert. Even the Jacquees line was not this long, and there was like 3 or 4 lines at the Jacquees concert that I went to. But yeah, the line moved pretty quickly, and once we got to the front, they had to check us, which is at every concert. And then we had to go through a metal detector, and then we got a wristband. This is like the wristband that we got. It's just a blue wristband that everybody that went to the concert got, so you can come in and out and they know that you belong there. So yeah, the Music Revention Center by far, I think, is the nicest venue I've ever been to for a concert. It was really nice. They had concession stands. It kind of reminded me of like where the rodeo is held or where a football game is held, like a stadium. They had like a bunch of concession stands. Most of them closed early though. And if you know anything about downtown Houston buildings, all of them kind of have underground. Like, you can travel from one building to the next underground. It sounds crazy, but it's so true. And I learned that when I had to do jury duty in downtown. But yeah, once we got in, we went straight inside, and we were kind of like in the middle of the actual floor, because we had standing room general admission tickets. So we were kind of like in the middle of the floor, but we were at the back at the time, if that makes sense. Like, we were behind everybody, but it was in the middle of the floor. Let me tell y'all, it got so packed, and it was so squished. Like, it was literally this girl in front of me. She was shorter than me, but her hair was like all in my face. Like, I had to turn like this just so her hair wouldn't be in my eyes, nose, and mouth. So it was so packed and so crazy. Like, everybody was raging, everybody was jumping. Literally, I'm gonna show y'all my shoes at the end of this, or I'm gonna pop in a picture. I'm gonna pop in a picture of my shoes and my friend's shoes. They got so dirty. Literally, people were jumping on my ankles. Like, my ankle was hurting because somebody jumped on my ankle. Not on my toe, not on my foot, on my ankle. That's how crazy it was. And it got to the point where, like, we were all smushed together. Like, nobody had a problem with somebody touching them, which I like. And I kind of had to get over it because we had no choice. We were all smushed together in the crowd. And then it was like the whole crowd started swaying. And it's like we were literally going like this. There were so many times I thought I was going to fall. But I feel like nobody was going to fall, really, because we were so close together. So it's like the people around you, they're kind of holding you up, if that makes sense. So yeah, it was really, really crazy. And to think we weren't even in the mosh pit or close to the mosh pit. So the mosh pit was probably super crazy. And one thing I liked, they had everything very timely, very organized, and everything started on time. As soon as we came in, we got in maybe like 15 minutes after 7, and music was already playing. I forgot who was performing. I really don't know him. Flash Gotti, I think that was his name. I had never heard of him before, but he was already performing. And then I think somebody else performed. Cody Shane performed. Her performance was cool. Then I think Trippie Redd came out. He performed. I'll put in the clips for his performance. They had Maxo Cream perform. If you know who Your Rage is, I watch his Twitch all the time, and he always plays this song called Fetty on Fetty with Playboy Cardi, Maxo Cream. Yeah. Sorry, my camera stopped. But anyway, like I was saying, when Maxo Cream came out and performed that song, I knew the whole thing. And by the whole thing, I meant the whole chorus. But literally, I was so lit to that song. But one thing I can say is that things got really crazy. And because we were all smushed together, it was really hot. So if you're the faint of heart, like me, make sure you take a friend or stand like in the back because there were people passing out. There were people sweating bullets. I even got to a point where I had to tap my friend on the shoulder and be like, hey, we got to go off to the side. I feel like I'm about to pass out. And when we did that, they had restrooms. We went to the restroom. They had drinks. I got a Gatorade. I sat down. Even in the clips, there was part of the clips where it looked like I was down low. It's because I was sitting on the floor against the wall. So yeah, be very careful when you're going to a concert. Listen to your body. If you're getting tired, if you feel like you're about to faint, walk off to the side. Because I literally saw people getting drugged out of the crowd because they had passed out. And it happened like 2 or 3 times in my section. So yeah. But one thing that was really, really cool that me and my friend kept talking about, we started off at the back and we were getting moved around and swayed and jumped on so much. We had got towards the front of the crowd, and that was so cool. But literally every time people started swaying and people started raging, like you would end up next to new people. Like the girl that I was telling y'all about earlier that had her hair all in my face, I was only next to her for about 2 or 3 minutes. Everybody started swaying and raging, and I ended up next to some Hispanic guys who were smoking. Literally every concert I go to, people have weed, people have vapes, people have all kinds of drugs. So yeah, if you don't like the smell of that, be careful because you will smell it in the crowd of concerts, especially like hip hop, rap, those kind of concerts. So yeah, that was that, but I actually really, really liked it. I did sit off to the side for a while, but then I got back in the crowd with my friend. And I love that Trippie Redd, he asked, do y'all want me to perform more songs? And of course, everybody was like, yeah. And he was like, how many? And people were saying 14, but I think he only performed 5 more songs. He went through them very quickly, but he did perform 5 more songs. And he literally performed all of my favorite songs, I believe, except for maybe 1 or 2. But he performed all my faves by him, basically. And after that was the meet and greet. Since I did get tickets for the meet and greet, here was the badge. And and the meet and greet was in this club that was in the Music Revention Center, and it was underground. That's what I'm telling y'all. These Houston downtown buildings, they got a lot going on underground. So yeah, it was like a little club, and that's where the meet and greet was held. They also had merch table. I didn't get any merch from the actual concert, but I did get this shirt online. This is what the front looks like, and I got it in a large just because I wanted a big white shirt. But this is what the front looks like, and this, let me see if I can show y'all. This is what the back looks like, and it has all the tour dates. I don't know if y'all can hear me since I was facing the other way, but the back has all the tour dates. This shirt just looks so dope to me. But yeah, I didn't get anything from the merch table because it was crowded. So we just went to the meet and greet, and for the meet and greet, we got this VIP bracelet, and they had to check your ID. So always make sure you take your ID. They had to check your ID. They had to check your tickets and all that good stuff. I'll put my tickets on the screen so y'all can see what it looked like. I had the electronic tickets that were just on my phone. And yeah, once we got to the little club where the meet and greet was, we sat down for a while. Then they had us line up, and once Trippie actually came out, it went pretty quick. There were people that were taking pictures together, which me and my friend should have did, but we took separate pictures, and they didn't let you do autographs. And I've heard this at most of the concerts I've went to. They don't like you doing autographs. They don't want you asking them, follow me on social media. They just want you to take your picture and go. But one thing I liked about Trippie Redd is that he was very, very nice. He actually asked you like, hey, how are you doing? He talked to you for a little bit. It was actually a meet and greet, not just to take a picture with me. So that was really nice. Even my friend was going on and on about how he had a convo with Trippie Redd. And I actually surprised him because he thought we were just going to the concert. He didn't know I had bought meet and greet tickets. So yeah, that was cool. And that was my friend's first concert, so I'm glad that I actually got to put somebody on to this concert life. But yeah, it was really, really nice, and it was fun. We left downtown at about like midnight o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And my home is like an hour outside of downtown Houston, so we didn't get home until like 2 a.m. But it was really nice. It was really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all the concert footage now. It's about 11 minutes. So yeah, if you wanted to, you can go ahead and just skip to the concert footage and skip all my talking. But I like making these videos so I can look back in the future and relive this experience. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all the concert footage now. So go ahead and enjoy my clips from the Trippie Redd Love Me More tour in Houston, Texas.
Every night and every day with me. We gon' be alright, just take the pain with me. Yeah, baby, stay with me. Yeah, baby, stay with me.